Hi, I'm Sarah. Welcome back to my channel where I talk about my journey to sustainable health and meaningful success. If you're coming back and you've already subscribed, welcome back. Y'all are my people and I love you so much. And if you're new, I hope you'll consider subscribing by the end of this video. This is part 2. We're jumping right back in at Proficient at Your Craft by my upline Diamond. Last week, we got really heated. I'm still really heated because I'm sitting down in this same session recording this, continuing, and I'm still in the same mood, same state of mind, so let's just jump right back into it. We're 22 minutes into this hour and 13 minute long audio, so we probably will have to make a part 3 just to make sure that we get all of the context of the audio. I'm not cutting anything out because we ended last week with my upline Diamond saying that if you have a problem creating volume, just give me your Amway IBO number and your credit card. So, very much proving that this is an illegal pyramid scheme. Even though Amway does sell products, the majority of Amway independent business owners are just purchasing their volume and falsely reporting it as customer PV.
Seriously, I'm telling you, we don't know, but I'm to that point with some people that, hey, you know what? Give me your IBO number, give me your password, give me your credit card. I will fix the volume thing right now. You will have 100 PV minimum every month from now to eternity. This is not that hard. The volume thing should not even be a thing after about 30 days that you even think about. So that you can think about the only other thing that you need to learn and master, which is what? Expansion.
Scamming people.
Expansion. Which is finding other IBOs. But there's an art to it, right? That's why some of y'all are like, why are they talking about reading? Well, probably because you didn't learn how to win friends and influence people along the way. They don't really teach that in school. In fact, it's usually how to alienate and make them mad. Right? You know, how to lose people and keep them away from you the rest of your life, okay? I mean, Weird that he would say that about general schooling and upbringing, that most people just learn how to alienate people and steer them away from you, but yet he's saying that by reading the books like How to Win Friends and Influence People and being around this kind of association, that you will actually be able to draw people to you and not alienate people. Whereas if you actually look at the results in your life, just like me, by the time I left Amway, I had no friends. My relationships with my family were incredibly strained. And yeah, I knew people skills, but I also knew how to basically draw people in and manipulate people. That's what the Amway people teach. I mean, seriously, that's how society teaches it. They're critical. They're always looking for what's wrong. Right? They're offended. They criticize, and that's how you're trained. So now you get into business and you start, so you get around a team and you start, you know, instead of being uplifting and being encouraging. I mean, probably Rich DeVos just passed away. The owner, the founder, one of the owners and founders of Amway Corporation, billionaire many times over. Okay, and they asked Rich Rich, what do you give credit to your success? You know what his answer was? I'm a cheerleader for other people. I don't know about you, but if that is true, I know how to become a billionaire. There's no mystery. If a billionaire told me his secret was to be a cheerleader for others, and that's how he became a billionaire, well, heck, all I got to do is do the same thing, and I can become a billionaire.
That's the nature of multi-level marketing companies, is that it's not really about putting in the hard work to sell the product. You're not they don't sell you as a sales rep because they don't want you to be a sales rep. Or they want you to be a sales rep, but they also want you to recruit other people, and they want you to be a cheerleader for other people selling or purchasing their own products. So in Rich DeVos's mind, in this Amway Diamond's mind, all you have to do is encourage the people below you in your pyramid to purchase more products, and that's how you become successful. So of course, if Rich DeVos can do that and this Amway Diamond can do that, of course you're going to be a billionaire.
if you were able to manipulate enough people to join your team, to get enough IBO numbers and enough credit cards for them to purchase their own products, then of course you can be a cheerleader for those people as they continue to, put their blood, sweat, and tears into this business, hoping that this is going to work like you said it was going to work. But all you have to do is be a good enough cheerleader, and you'll make money off of those people.
So you're looking at a billionaire right now.
Yeah, congratulations.
Because I can be a cheerleader for other people. I can tell, hey, I can encourage them. I can find the good in them. You have to learn to see people and see the good in them. Too many people, they find the flaw. They're trained to find the flaw. They're trained, oh, look what they're wearing. That doesn't even match.
Again, creating an us versus them narrative in order to get your mind thinking, yeah, the outside world, they're so negative about other people, but here, in here, we're programmed to see the good in people. I mean, it's they try to draw a moral line. If you're in the outside of what this Amway group is, then you're being programmed to automatically find the negative in other people. But here, no. Here, we see the good in people. This is like the minute, very underlying manipulation that goes on in these audios. And he's trying to draw that parallel or draw that line to where you want to be a part of the us. You don't want to be a part of them. And that's how they kind of isolate you into this association by saying that we're the only people who see positive things. We're the only people who see the good in other people. Because the rest of the world will eat you alive if you leave this association. Oh, beware. Please beware. If you're being recruited into this, oh my God. Get out. Please run. Run. Very fast, very hard in the opposite direction.
I'll tell you right now, if you're looking at my youngest son, that's what you're gonna think. That doesn't even match. Did he ever match? He's more of it worked. It's the function. I need pants and I need a shirt. They don't go together. It's a pants and a shirt. Doesn't really care. I mean, probably more so now because he's on the prowl, but whatever, that's another topic. Okay. Now he's like, okay. But growing up, not so much. I mean, I seriously said, we need to take him to see if he's colorblind. Because, seriously, that doesn't even it's not even close, okay? To him, it's just what was clean. Actually, it didn't even have to be clean. It's what was there, okay? But he's a cheerleader for other people. Can you beat that? Can you, when somebody says, well, I don't think I can do this, go, why do you say that? Instead of saying, well, sure you can, because, you got time. Now you're just selling the thing again. No, why don't you look him in the eye and go, why do you say that? Why don't you think you can? I believe you can. What would make you think you couldn't do this? Because you know what they're going to do? They're probably going to sit there a minute and go, well, because I've always been told I don't ever measure up. My older brother was always the one. And then they'll open up to you. And you can say, you know what? None of that matters here. Do you have a dream? Do you have a why? That's all we need. We don't need talent. We don't need hard work. No. We just need willingness. We just need a why. Do you have a why? And are you willing to let me help you? Here's another. Are you willing to listen? What's amazing to me is how many people they get into business, okay, and they don't take advantage of that. They don't really listen. It's frustrating because I know. Tell people all the time, this is what you're doing. They don't listen, okay? Yet they'll go to work and listen to their boss. You know why? Because there's a repercussion there. If you don't listen, you get fired. Whereas here, there's no consequence to not listening other than you're just going to fail. But you don't know that. See, a lot of times when we're sitting there, we're not telling you to read because we're just, okay, blanket. Yeah. If you just listen, if you're not reading the right stuff, you're right. Reading is a waste of time. I read the newspaper every day. That's just a formula for failure.
Just wanted to pop in, check in, see how you guys are doing. But also, just kind of recapping, he's very good at getting on your emotional map. He's very good at identifying exactly what your underlying beliefs are so that you can reframe that, but then also tie that reframing of your own self-dialogue with the people that you're associating here. So he's very good, and he's training people to be very good at getting on your emotional map. Why would you say that you're not good enough? Where does that belief come from? And being able to actually listen to the underlying beliefs of someone. I mean, it's the same. And this is like a superpower that could be used for good or evil. And unfortunately, what he uses for is pure evil. Pure evil. But, I'm going to school to become a certified health and life coach. And part of our training is actually being able to reframe those beliefs and being able to get on someone's map and know what they believe about themselves and why they do what they do. And it's a very psychological type way of learning about that person and learning about what makes them tick, what is the underlying motivating factor, and then being able to reframe that on a foundational level so that they make different decisions because you've addressed the foundational belief that they had. So that could be used for a very good purpose, like health and life coaching, like being able to help coach people to make better habits and better decisions for themselves. But unfortunately, this is an exact tactic that he is using in order to get on someone's emotional level and manipulate them so that the decisions that they make are emotionally tied to the connection that he built with them. Ugh.
Because you're going to be totally confused, you're going to be messed up, and it's the opposite of success and wealth.
Oh, and then the other thing that I had forgotten was that he's saying basically that without your upline, without being able to listen to your upline, without reading the books that your upline is suggesting, you're going to fail. It's the opposite of success and wealth is what he just said. So that's just reiterating over and over and over again that you need your upline in order to succeed, because you, as a critical thinking adult, do not have the mental faculties or don't have the experience or the skills to be able to succeed in this business. What you need is your upline. So you need to wait on them hand and foot and answer their every beck and call. Do whatever they tell you to do, because without them, you will not succeed. That's what he's saying.
I will tell you this right now. Some of y'all are being programmed for failure, and you don't even know it. I read in a book, I've read it many times, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And I read he called them the princes of fear, the princes or whatever, okay? And I read in there that one of them was, one of the reasons people fail is the fear of criticisms of others. They're worried about what other people think, their perception of them. What are people going to look? What are they going to think of me? What are they going to do? And so they do things so that they don't look bad, or they don't, whatever. Okay, watch this. And I'm not against it. I think there's a powerful thing social media can do for us if we use it right. But if you're addicted to this one, you're in trouble. I call it, I'm going to do an audio called, You Got to Learn to Dislike Your Way to Diamond. Because it's always about the likes. You don't even know, you're addicted to it. You post something, and you start counting the likes. Which is the exact opposite mindset of Think and Grow Rich. Because you're looking for the acceptance of everyone. Which means, by default, you have the fear of criticisms of others. So what you're doing is you're programming yourself for acceptance from everyone. Which means by default, you're automatically programming yourself to have fear of the criticisms of a dislike. And you almost look and you go, well, how come my sister didn't like that? Or how come my best friend, hey, did you see my post? Yeah, I saw it. You didn't like it? Oh, it was fine. Well, why didn't you hit the button? Because I need a number like my credit score. And then you go around going, look, I had 742 likes. And how much did they pay you for those?
you know, part of my dream on YouTube is to get to 1,000 subscribers so that I can start putting ads on my videos so that I can make more money on YouTube than I did in Amway. I'm just sharing that with you guys right now. Little moment of vulnerability. I'd like to make money off of my YouTube channel so that I can at least say that I made money off of Amway in some form or another, because I didn't make any money when I was actually in the business, but maybe now since I have a YouTube channel. Yeah, your likes, your comments, all of your engagement, anytime you share my videos, you're getting me closer to to actually making money off of likes on social media. What a terrible thing that would be, to make money off of social media. Thank you for letting me share that with you.
See, I believe people don't even realize it. They've wrapped themselves up in a failure mindset. They don't even know it. That's the scary part. So I'm going to do an audio called "Dislike Your Way to Diamond." You know, I don't even care, okay, but I almost want to post things that people don't like. They're like, oh, I'm on my way, okay? You with me? But you understand, and I'm not saying shut down. I'm not saying, you know, oh my God, just, you have to watch it, because it's very subtle how failure can creep into people. You can't worry about what people are going to think.
That is an interesting point that he's making, because I agree with the general concept that success will be achieved when you divorce yourself from the opinions of other people. Because honestly, other people's opinions don't pay your rent. That's how I see it. If you got something to say, that's great, but until you're actually paying my bills, sorry, I'm gonna be on my grind. That's how I feel about it. So I guess in that sense, what he's saying is very true. On an underlying sense, though, and on a more sinister level, what he is doing is creating an environment in which people don't care about the concerns or protests of loved ones, family members, friends, having serious concerns about what they're doing in this Amway business. You know, you seem to be spending a lot of your time on Amway. You seem to be spending a lot of money on your Amway products. You never have time for family get-togethers anymore. You never hang out with your friends anymore. Your mind is always in these audios and books, and you really, really value the opinion of your upline to a point where it's like kind of an abusive relationship, and we're really worried about you. And if you think I'm exaggerating, I'm not. And you can read in the comments of every single one of my Amway videos several people who have confirmed this exact thing, that it is actually a very cult-like situation. I do consider what I was in a cult based on other audios that I've reviewed in the past. But it is very concerning. And the fact that they tried to divorce you of any of the opinions of any of your peers, anybody who would know you and who would be close enough to you to maybe influence you to not be a part of this business. They ask you in the very first meeting, or at least they asked me in the very first meeting, are you an independent thinker, or do you let other people make your decisions for you? Well, obviously, that question really only has one good answer, which is, I'm an independent thinker. And they want you to solidify that in yourself so that when people come up with different objections to the business, you already have it in your mind. I'm an independent thinker. I'm going to make this decision on my own. I'm not going to let what you say sway me. Anything that you say now only makes me dig my heels in deeper. And that is what he's solidifying by tearing down the social media culture, tearing down the likes versus dislikes kind of mentality when, you know, we put all of our self-worth in the opinions of other people. All of this is very, like, on the surface, at face value, it seems very obvious, actually. Of course, that's a success principle. Don't let other people push you around and tell you what to do. But in the underlying sense, especially with regards to Amway, what they're doing is they're trying to isolate you from hearing the opinions of the people who are closest to you and who care about you and actually have your best interest at heart.
You know, I'll tell you this, prospecting and expanding your business is going to require you to be out of that comfort zone. You're just going to have to go for it. You know, you're going to have to be like me when I'm at a restaurant the other night and in the bathroom, and, you know, guys, I got urinals, and you stand up, and the guy's already standing up doing his thing, and you can't see him, ladies, so don't worry about it, okay? And he had something on his shirt, something cafe. So as I'm walking up, I see his shirt, and I'm like, so I waited until he was complete. I just timed it so that we were both at the sink at the same time. Hey, so-and-so cafe, where's that? He said, Raleigh, North Carolina. Well, I'm down in Florida. I'm going, Raleigh? I used to live in Raleigh. He said, well, I lived in Raleigh the last 4 years. We just moved down there. I said, no kidding. Where'd you live? Now we're in a conversation. We stood outside the bathroom, talked for about 10 minutes. His wife was probably wondering where he was at. In fact, I went back over later. He said, well, I'll be here for a while. Come, I said, we'll get your number or whatever. Okay, he said. And then it was funny because I walked up, and his wife goes, is this guy you met in the bathroom? I guess that's really weird for women. I don't know, okay? And he's like, yeah. She goes, yeah, I thought that was strange. I met this guy in the bathroom, you know, and I'm like, that's me. I said, in fact, I'm over here to get your phone number now. And she's like looking, I'm like, that's all good, I'm married. I'm going to bring my wife over, okay, you know. So, in fact, when we walked up, what did she say? Something about this is the guy. You're the bathroom guy, okay, you know. So, great. But anyway, so, you know, we got...
I don't know how to not make this weird, but actually, in my experience, women do meet each other in the bathroom. They just, it's a very social atmosphere there. But in terms of business, that's so weird. And now listening to that, it's so creepy. But on the flip side, you would actually be horrified and surprised how many people have made contacts in the bathroom at a public place. It's insane. Myself included. I can't think of any particular people that I actually got their phone number out of the bathroom. But yeah, I did. I struck up a lot of conversations in the bathroom. Now if I talk to you in the bathroom, it's because I'm like asking if you have a hair tie or something. But on the topic of not really caring about people's opinions, if you're about to start a conversation with them, they actually had us do an exercise where we would go out and like we'd have a lot of conversations that day, and we'd have to start them as best we know how and like continue them and actually try to get a contact, you know, someone's contact information. But then at least one conversation a day, we had to just walk up to somebody and be a total weirdo and be like, are you looking for ways to make extra money? Without like any context or anything like that. So that was like an exercise that we did in order to like get out of our comfort zones, was to create a completely awkward and really uncomfortable situation with a stranger so that we would get out of our own heads and out of our own comfort zones. I don't know. It sounds so bizarre now, but that's what we did.
Right? So, you know, we got their contact information, and we're going to, you know, call them and say, hey, are you open? You want to, you know, whatever. But you know what? If you're worried about what people are going to think, you ain't doing that. You know what most people would do? Oh, that's kind of weird. He's going to think, what's that guy talking to me in the bathroom? That's kind of odd. You know, or some people go, you know, I'm not going to bother him in the gym. He's got his headphones on. If he's got his headphones on, that means he really doesn't want to talk to anybody. He wants to be to himself. And I don't want to interrupt. I don't want to bother him. So I'm going to be Mr. Nice Guy and be a sissy and keep my job because I'm scared. And that's just justification for being scared because, you know, I'm just going to justify, well, he doesn't want to be bothered and I don't want to bother him. So if I do, he might get mad at me. And if he gets mad at me, you know, I'm just scared. And I'm just rationalizing in my head why I shouldn't go reach out and contact him, because if I do contact him and he's mean, then I got to deal with that. So I don't want to deal with that because I'm afraid, because I can't face my fear, because I haven't really faced my fear yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rationalize this away, and you're doing it, and all of a sudden he leaves and he's gone. And you're like, I should have talked to him. And now you go through another process of guilt, condemnation. What a loser. I should have talked to him. What are you afraid? I should have talked to him. I don't know why I didn't talk to him. And so you waste time having this, and another guy walks away. And you could have had two contacts. You're scared, but you won't even admit you're scared, even to yourself. There was a guy, he had his headphones on, like they all do in there, and it had a big, long name on the back of his shirt. I didn't know what it was. I just walked up, tapped him on the shoulder. He takes shakes his head. I said, what in the world is on your back? He said, that's my last name. I said, get out of here. Nobody has a last name that long. And it was a big Greek name or whatever, okay? And in fact, now we got a pretty good friendship. He's got some of my pilot books. He wants to become a pilot. Now he wants to sit down and see our business. All because I went. And in fact, I said, I need to get, because we started talking, and piloting came up, flying. He said, man, I'd love to fly sometime. I said, you know what? I've got some materials that I don't use anymore. I'd love to share them with you if you'd like to. That'd be awesome. You know, he's like 26 years old. I'm like, cool. I said, I tell you what, why don't you put his phone number in, and his name, put his first name. I said, tell you what, why don't I just turn him? And I just went to the back, and I said, I'm going to put your name in this way, because there ain't no way I can spell this. Yeah. And he started laughing, okay? In fact, I introduced him to Michelle the other day at the gym. And I don't care. Well, what's he going to think? Nothing. And even if he does, I've had them where they go, I'm working out, I'm busy. See ya, stay broke. They never know what that means, but it's always fun to say. In fact, it was funny today, Dave, before you got there was a guy, they were kind of in line. I walked up and I was like, hey, does the line start here or there? And he goes, it starts behind me. La-di-da. So then I wait, I'm not done yet. Because now it's like game on. Was it just by chance, or is this guy just a jerk? Let me find out. So he orders his stuff, and then he scribbles his name on the iPad or whatever, pay for his swipe his card. I go, wow, that was quite the artwork there. He goes, that's my signature. Wife made you sleep on the couch last night?
It's so gross. It's ugly, honestly, how he assumes that everybody outside of the business are broke and divorced, or having marriage problems, or having family problems, because that's the dynamic that they want to create. Is your life is so happy and no problems within the Amway business, but outside the Amway business, you're broke. You have to go to a job because there's no other form of self-employment other than multi-level marketing. You're having marital problems and you never have time with your kids. But in order to be successful, you have to harass people at the gym and in line who clearly don't want to be harassed. They don't want to be talked to. Stay away from them. And it's just weird. It's weird how he's creating that dynamic of like, all right, stay broke. You just harass the person at the gym. Like, I'm working out. Can't you see that I have my earbuds in? I clearly don't want to be bothered. But he's like normalizing harassment of strangers because you're that desperate for money and that desperate for contacts.
Who cares? You go, well, what's that guy thinking about you? I'll bet you this. I'll bet you he is not thinking about me one iota tonight. Not one. And even if he is, I don't care. Because I ain't scared. I'm more afraid of not accomplishing anything. I have more fear of not succeed, of failing, if you want to call it that, of not than to reach out to somebody. Some of y'all might just need to, you know what, get your upline who's good at this and go with them and watch them. Watch them just not care. That's how I taught Aaron and Drive. I would just go, I just walk up, I'd do it on purpose. I'd walk up to people where they're like, what are you doing? I'm going to go talk to that guy. How? Watch. Because that's my craft. It's the only thing I have to learn. Think about that. It's the only thing I have to master. Ever. Think about it. It's the hardest thing and the only thing you'll ever master in your business. Because as long as you have somebody else to show the plan to, somebody else to call, somebody else, you can always expand. Always expand. Always expand. And you know what? It only takes you find 3 good people to expand with, and you're an Emerald IBO making $150,000 a year.
Notice he has yet to, actually, he never will, spoiler alert, he never will actually talk about customer volume. But he has yet to mention that selling to customers is a thing that you have to do, because you don't have to do that. You just have to recruit 3 really good people who also are good at recruiting, and all of a sudden you're an emerald in the business. But how does that PV, how does that actually equate in Amway terms? It's because they're purchasing their own PV. This we've already established, but I feel like I just really need to continue emphasizing this until the FTC catches on, after I've already reported them, and probably several of my subscribers have already reported them. But until this organization is stopped, I'm going to continue saying it. This is how he's telling that you need to be able to succeed in the Amway business, and the only thing that you have to do, the one thing that you have to do in order to master your craft, is to be good at recruiting. Because the products take care of themselves when you purchase them.
If you happen to mess up in the next 6 to 8 to 10 years and find 6 of them, 10 years from now you can be a diamond only because you mastered one thing in your life. You don't have to be good at doing meetings. You may never do a meeting. You may never stand up in front of here and you can still go diamond. See, some of y'all think because I do that, in order to go diamond, you've got to be, no. You may never do a presentation like this and you can still be a diamond. Nobody said you had to learn how to do an info set. Nobody said you had to do training. Nobody said all you have to do is be really good at, hey, my name's Alan Leininger, and you are? Jamel, what's your last name, Jamel? Kirtley. You actually would ask somebody what their last name is? All the time. I always give them my first and last name, and if they give me their first, I don't let go of their hand, and I say, what's your last name? What are they going to think? They're not. They're going to give you their last name. Your problem is you're thinking. Well, what if they don't? What if they say, why do you want to know? I'm going to say, why do you think? Are you contacting me? Do you think I'm contacting you? Do you deserve to be contacted? Do you qualify to be contacted? Should I stop now because you don't? What are they going to think if you say something like that? I don't care. I'm probably never going to see them again, ever in my life. Well, what if you do? It'll be fun. You know you're in a zone when you start meeting the same people again. But you don't know that you met them. I can pretty much tell you just about every platinum in the room this has happened to. I've actually met one guy 3 different times. And forgot that I met him the first 2. Because he, whatever. No, okay, good. A few months later. Have we met before? I don't know, have we? I think you called me about something. Maybe. Did you look? No. What's your name? I call him again. What are they going to say? No again? Well, it didn't kill me the first time. It ain't going to hurt me the second time. I remember this one guy, he goes, you've met me before. You've called me twice. I said, where are you looking now? Who cares?
Okay, a couple things. Number 1, I sped him up to 1.5 because I can't bear this. This is already going to be a 3-part video, and I'm so over this audio, but it's worth it, and I'm doing it. So, but at the same time, talking about meeting people that you didn't know you met before, when I was working over at this like paint company, and I was working out, and I met someone. She was like working out with a workout buddy, and then when I quit Amway, I got a different job a couple months later, and turns out I had already met my boss at that job because that was the person that I met at the gym. So within like a month of working there, we put the pieces together, and she's like, I think I actually met you at Planet Fitness. Were you? Yeah, you were talking about like your business mentors or something. I'm like, yeah, I was trying to recruit you into a cult that I'm no longer a part of. I'm so sorry about that. Wow. Very awkward, weird first impressions with your employer. So that's my little anecdotal story to go along with what he's saying.
Have we met before? I don't know, have we? I think you called me about something.
Nightmare.
Maybe. Did you look? No. What's your name? I call him again. What are they going to say? No again? Well, it didn't kill me the first time. It ain't going to hurt me the second time. I've had that said. Hey, I'm Al Lenny. I know what you're doing. I go, you do? What am I doing? I know what I'm doing too. I'm shaking your hand and telling you who I am. I know what you're doing. You're trying to prospect me. I guess you don't qualify, do you? You have a nice night. Are you kidding me? No. All these things have happened to me, and I'm still standing. Because you know what? There's always the day where you do that, and somebody said, hey, good to meet you. Hey, you looking? Absolutely. You bet. When can we sit down? You sit down with them, and you explain, this is amazing. This is perfect. Where do I need to be? Well, geez, I'll be there. And you show up, and they're already waiting for you. Instead of you, gawking out there like a some of you are like vultures out front, looking, where's my prospect? And they're walking up, and you're like a big crow sitting on the top of the roof, it's like, and they're going, you're supposed to be cool, you're supposed to be in the room going, just chilling. And they come in, and you're like, oh, I get you. You guys got to be cooler than that, man. Instead of, they walk in the door, and you're like, you're flying in the room like, you got to lighten up when your prospects have claw marks on their back, a little blood, coming down from your clenches, They get done, and you're like, come here now, you need to meet so-and-so. This is my guy. Hey, when do we get together again? I'll get back to you. No, you got to, listen, people want what they can't have. You got to kind of like, well, see if we can fit you in next couple. Statement, guys, fell out back there.
I have to pause this again because this video is going to be, again, too long, but I'm cracking up right now because I feel like this guy is on something for real. I mean, and it's funny when you get other independent business owners together talking about their really crazy conversation topics and everything. I have a lot of stories that are like so cringy about weird conversations that I've had with people. But yeah, I mean, he's not lying actually about that. There are some people who are just like, hi, do you want to hear about my opportunity? And it's a lot. It's a lot. But anyway, we're going to stop that there. Tune in next week so that we can finish this audio up. And my gosh, it's been a journey. He ends with a lot more manipulation at the end of the audio. It's why I'm playing it all the way through. Also, I'm playing it all the way through so that we get the full context of being proficient at your craft has nothing to do within this multi-level marketing company. It has nothing to do with actual product sales to qualified, legitimate customers. So we're doing this. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you all next week. Okay. Bye.